Hello and welcome. Thank you very much for your time. We're come to have a very special conversation with the Honorable PC Appiah-Ofori, and for many, you would remember him for his anti-corruption campaigns that he still pushes these days. He's a stalwart of the New Patriotic Party. How are you surviving?
Before I became an MP, I worked in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I established fixed deposit and treasury bills in Ghana. So when I retired, the fixed deposit and treasury bill had grown
Okay.
to millions. And this is what has been feeding me for the past 12 years.
Are you suggesting that your party, the MPP, is not using your expertise, for example, in the government that's running?
I don't want to say that.
Why wouldn't you say that? If you say you're not earning, you could be a board member, you could be an advisor to any institution at all. Your experience comes in handy.
As I've said, I'm very surprised, very, very surprised that after spending my own money to campaign for the party from 2007 to 2012 to 2016 to the present time MPP came to power, I have been abandoned completely.
How do you mean? Nobody calls you?
No, I have been abandoned by the chief executive of the party.
President Akufo-Addo
Yes.
is your good friend.
Yes.
He doesn't call you?
No.
The chairman of the party doesn't call
No.
you? The secretary doesn't call
No.
you? I find that impossible to believe.
I'm surprised that I give it to God. As I said, for 12 years, is it 8 years, that I've been out of parliament and I'm not earning any salary. I've been living.
The NPP is in government, it's asking for a second term, 4 more to do more. That's the hashtag that's trending. What would be your own assessment of the government? The president says 78%, 72%, vice president says 78%, President Kufuor says 70%, the NDC says 14%. What would be your assessment of the Akufo-Addo-led administration?
You see, so far so good. You see, the Akufo-Addo administration, what has set the Thames on fire is a free secondary school education.
I see.
This particular thing has set the Thames on fire.
So you're saying that free SHS is the game changer? See, let's look at the number of ministers, for example. Is it paying off? The criticism have come against the Akufo-Addo-led government. The president has said that the ministers are worth their work and which allow them to work. Is it paying off?
Well, you see, if you are given a place to weed, say 40 acres land to weed, and you alone, you start, you will not be able to finish it. By the time you finish it, where you started, you have grown again. But if you engage more people to weed, you finish quickly and you'll be able to plant your crops and so on.
That's right.
So the more people, is neither here nor there. What is important is, are they capable of delivering?
Are you seeing the results?
Yes.
For all of them?
Well, as I've said, I've not seen the Auditor General's report since he came to office. But socially, I assume that since NDC people are not picking holes in their Akufo-Addo administration on a corruption basis, then I assume that all is going on well.
They are asking questions about the Office of the Special Prosecutor, a special purpose vehicle that was created to fight corruption. You are a corruption campaigner, anti-corruption campaigner. Has the Office of the Special Prosecutor lived up to the billing?
He is supposed to, but according to him, the resources he needed to prosecute his mission had been delayed or had not come. Even I personally petitioned Akufo-Addo, so I wanted to be sent to his office, the board of the special prosecution.
Right. You want to work there?
Yes.
What was the response?
So that I become the investigator.
Okay.
Because I remember when I was in Parliament, RAGB, Revenue
Right.
Against Governing Board, commissioned me to find out what was going on at Tem Harbor.
Right.
And when I went there, corruption galore,
Free for all.
free for all. People imported goods worth billions of dollars. And then when they reached at the harbor, they underdeclared the value of the imports and paid little
Demurrage and all of
demurrage
that.
on it, resulting in loss of revenue to the state. So, I wanted to go into
To be a member of the board, the special prosecutor. And what was the response?
no response.
When did you write this letter?
As soon as the special prosecutor was appointed,
And no response has come to you?
no. I just wanted to go there to investigate all these Auditor General's reports. See, when I was in the office, Auditor General's reports, some of them are not even comprehensive enough. Because I remember in my constituency, during the time I was a member of parliament, Auditor General's representative went to audit
Right.
the government institutions there. And when they went, they collected money from the auditees and then covered up the wrongdoings they were going on. So some workers in that Auditor General's office in my constituency came to report to me that this is what is happening. The man has come to deceive them with a bad report. So I went there, and when I went there, it was corruption galore. Yes.
For all these things, there's usually the go and sin no more that we see at the Public Accounts Committee. People embezzle funds and nothing really happens to them. Is it your opinion that as a country we're really committed to fighting corruption?
No, we are not.
We are not.
Because, see, the Auditor General's report, even after being debated Public Accounts Committee and on the floor of the House, after that, those who had been exposed after having engaged in corrupt practices don't hear of any punitive action against them. Me, I've not heard anything. I've not heard anybody prosecuted.
But that's why the Office of the Special Prosecutor is there. He should be working.
Yes.
He seems to like to write and complain. That's what the opposition is saying, rather than do the work he's been mandated
Yes,
to do.
the special prosecutor said the resources he needed had not been adequately been given to him. This is what he said some time ago.
Okay.
And if that has been changed, I don't know.
The creation of that office, does it put a feather in the cap of President Akufo-Addo as against the reign of President Mahama in terms of fighting corruption? If you compare the two,
yes,
who would you say is a better corruption fighter?
Yes. Akufo-Addo put on measures to fight corruption, but it had been only mouthwash. You see, the intention was good, the intention is good, but the implementation is what has not been achieved. Because by this time, I should have expected that many people who have been prosecuted, you see, from the NDC time to the present time, Auditor General's report, after being debated at Parliament, what did they do? Those who have been exposed at having engaged in corrupt practices get away with it. Because of the Auditor General's auditors themselves. When they go, they also go and collect bribes and then cover up.
It's a serious allegation.
Yes, I'm not making that because I had a proof.
It happens.
It happened in my constituency, and it's likely it's going on nationwide. But in my constituency, it took place.
You have the nose to smell corruption and to point it out. For example, under President Mahama, President Mills, you're telling me you made an attempt to join the board of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Did you make an attempt under the Mills Mahama administration to also say, I want to help you fight corruption?
As I've said, John Mahama himself called me to his house to tell me that he wanted me to go and play that role in his administration.
He called you?
Yes.
And said what?
He called me at that time, NDC administration was at the castle.
Okay.
So when he called me, PC, see, when we were in Parliament, he called me PC and I was a GM. Come and see me. So I rode through the castle. When I read the castle, the entrance, the security man told me that, oh, John Mahama had left a message that upon my arrival, they should show me where his house is for me to go there.
Right.
So I know where he lives, because during the first time, the house he was living in was being occupied by Kufuor's vice president.
Okay.
So I know the place. So I went there. When I went there, the special treatment he gave me was marvelous. He took me to his special sitting room and offered a busy. I'm going to appoint my ministers and so on. So I want you you to come in, to come and fight, help me to fight corruption.
I was going to make you a minister.
Yes.
What was he going to call the ministry?
I've forgotten.
Ministry of Corruption.
No, I've forgotten. But he said he was going to make me a fighter for corruption.
Okay.
And I told him that, John, you know me. If you yourself engage in corruption, I will expose you. You know that? Do you know how to do that? I said, yes, please. That's why I want you to come, so that you'll be a check on me and all my ministers.
I see. Did you take the post? Of course you didn't.
I didn't take it.
Why didn't you?
I told him that if I should join the NDC administration, it would mean that I had abandoned NPP and I abandoned Kufuor. So I told him that, oh, John, then you have done well. I won't take the position. But any corrupt practices that will take place in his administration, which will come to my notice, I'll draw his attention to
Did
them.
you do that?
I did that.
Did you work on them?
Yes, I did that. I sent him letters. Whatever I will notice. Because of that, I took pains in going for Auditor General's reports. I went there personally, because during the time I was an MP, I was a member of the board of Auditor General. So when I went there, whatever information I wanted, they gave me. And when I went through the records, I drew his attention to all these things.
Do you regret not taking that position? Ex-President John Mahama wanted to make you the focal person to fight corruption, a full minister in his government, to be a check on everybody else. You turned it down because you say that would mean you working for the opposition. On hindsight, do you regret not taking that position to help fight corruption as a minister?
As a nation, as a country, for the benefit of Ghana, I think I should have, if I had not banked on the MPP and had placed Ghana's interests above partisan issue, and I'm going to take that position, I think I would have been able to set the Thames on fire. I would have been able to, all those engaged in corrupt practices, I would have been able to get them prosecuted and so on. So for that, I have regretted.
Will the MPP win this election?
Yes.
By what margin?
I can't tell you, but because of, as I've told you, the free senior secondary school that has come, it's a very big weapon. Yes. The one district, one factory issue, if it's going on, it's also very attractive.
You doubt the one district, one factory is going on? Is there a factory in your district, for example, Esikoma or Dopin Brako? Have you seen the factories?
State factory?
Yes.
No, there's no state factory there.
So your constituency has not benefited from one district, one factory?
Well, I've not been there for a long time, so I don't know whether they have benefited.
I see. Ejapa royalties, how does that sound to you? We're giving off our mineral royalties for some money that will help us to develop. It's come under strict criticism. CSOs have called and says they should be pulled back. The minority in parliament, the minority leader says, what do we need the haste to get money for? What do you say?
Well, when the whole thing was announced, I was among the first people to oppose it.
You are opposed to the Ejapa deal?
Yes.
Why are you opposed to it?
I didn't support it. Because, you see, why do we let these people to handle our national resources? God has given us this land which contains minerals. And having to got institutions that can sell this for us, except through Ejapa, I don't support it. Because we have Minerals Commission. We have an institution in Kumasi that have been dealing with it. Why don't you encourage them to continue? But we now say these people should come and handle our...
So you advise that we do not go into it?
I oppose it radio stations that action was wrong.
I'm sure you've heard about the back and forth with the Electoral Commission on the voter register issues and the issues about missing names, the credibility of the register after we spend so much money. What is your own opinion, given the fact that you are a big man in this nation who has an interest also in the forthcoming elections?
Yes, I don't know why some defects took place in some polling centers. This place is a polling center. Even
The Diadem School?
Yes, this place is a polling center. And many people came to register here. When you went there, all those who registered here, their names were there. My name, my wife's name, and everybody who registered. But I don't see why some other places, certain names had got missing. Look at John Mahama's own running mate. Look at the controversy about her name.
Her name.
It's not good.
It's not good. If you met the Electoral Commissioner, what would you say to her?
I would tell that you should rectify this before the election day.
Do we have the luxury of time?
Yes. I've already said it on the air. And if there's any need for me to go to her office, I'll go.
Has it become necessary for you to go there?
If there's need. Because you said it's rectifying. So if after the end of next month, all the anomalies have not been rectified, I'll go there.
Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Professor, is she the game changer that the NPP is scared of?
You see, if they campaign effectively, because it's an honor given to women. So if all women in this country will now say that, our next vice president is a woman, because this is not the first one.
No, she is not the first vice presidential candidate, but many before her.
Who were those who?
Bridget Jobanuku of the PPP, the late engineer Eva Loko, so many, Professor Nafale Sakifio.
You don't take the parties, you talk about NPP.
You're talking about the big ones,
yes,
the two big ones. She will be the first.
Yeah, she will be the first. All those people, they're not. Other than that, we say that.
But that's not fair to them. They are political parties in their own right.
No. They are not. They are there for showing.
They are there for show?
Yeah, show. Because do you think that all these people will ever win presidential elections?
Okay. So you are saying that she being the first here is if they campaign effectively, it could have an effect?
It could have an effect. But Akufo-Addo, what he has done, as I've said, the free secondary school education is a very big weapon. And then factories in the various districts is also a big weapon.
Okay, we will wrap up here, and we would like you to give us your peace message and pledge to peace, if you will.
The message is that seek ye first the overall interest of Ghana, and everybody in Ghana will be prosperous. If you place Ghana's interests above personal interests, I am mortal, you are mortal, first will go. So if you destroy the country, you destroy it for the younger ones and those yet unborn. So at all times, let's place Ghana's interests above any other consideration, and Ghana becomes prosperous, so that when we, the older ones, are no more, the younger ones will live peacefully.